All right, so vision statements, right? Not the boring corporate kind, but the kind that actually gets you fire up and making things happen. We're diving deep into this World Insider article you sent hot off the press today, by the way, and let me tell you, this isn't just for CEOs and entrepreneurs.
No, not at all. It's amazing how a really strong vision statement can completely change the game. And we're not just talking about some vague sense of hope, there's actual data to back this up. This article, it actually cites studies that show companies with a clear vision see almost a 20% boost in performance. It's incredible.
20%. Seriously. Okay, that's huge. I mean, I always knew they were important, but wow, that number really puts it into perspective. So for anyone listening who's thinking, vision statements, yeah, not for me, think again. This applies to you too. It's all about having that clear picture of where you want to go, whether it's your career, your relationships, your dream vacation.
It's like having a compass, but instead of pointing north, it's guiding you toward your own definition of success.
Exactly. And this article really hits home on that future focus. It's not about where you are now, it's about where you want to be. They define it as a concise, future-oriented declaration of an organization's aspirations and the impact it aims to make on the world. But honestly, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
It's a bit much. It's easier to think of it as the why behind what you do. Like imagine you're lost in the woods, right? Your vision statement is that cozy little cabin in the distance. It gives you a clear direction, a reason to keep pushing forward.
I love that analogy. So how does this apply to, say, my everyday life? Give me an example.
Well, think about it. Feeling stuck in your career, lacking motivation. A vision statement can be that much-needed kick in the pants, helping you make decisions that actually align with your bigger goals. Even something as simple as choosing between two job offers. One might look better on paper, but if the other truly resonates with your vision, it's going to feel way more fulfilling down the line.
Right. Absolutely. It's like, when you're dating a fancy car is cool and all, but if your values don't line up, it's not going to last. So how do we go from this kind of vague idea of a vision to something concrete, something we can actually act on? The article mentions this vision indicator tree, and I'm really curious to hear your take on it.
Right. It's not enough to just have a vision statement hanging on your wall. You have to actually track your progress, make adjustments along the way, and see how your everyday actions are contributing to the bigger picture. And that's where the vision indicator tree comes in.
Okay, I'm all ears. Break it down for me.
So imagine your vision statement is the trunk of the tree, okay? Strong, solid, holding everything together. Now, each main branch represents a key area you need to focus on to achieve that vision.
So let's say my vision is write a best-selling novel. What would some of my branches be?
Okay, so one branch could be crafting a compelling story, right? Another could be building a writing habit, and maybe another for connecting with readers. You're essentially breaking down this big, potentially scary goal into smaller, manageable pieces.
I love how visual that is. It's like you're creating a roadmap, a step-by-step guide to get you from where you are to where you want to be.
Exactly. We'll dive into the specifics of the vision indicator tree a bit later, but the point is it helps you translate those big dreams into concrete actions.
Okay, so we've established that a vision statement is more than just some empty corporate buzzword. It's a powerful tool for anyone who wants to live a more intentional and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. And the great thing is, it's never too late to figure out what your vision is. It can change and evolve as you do, and that's perfectly normal. The key is to have that guiding star, that North Star, that helps you navigate through life and make choices that align with your values and what you truly aspire to be.
Well said. Now let's dig into the anatomy of a truly powerful vision statement, because this article has some seriously good tips. All right, so we're talking about crafting a vision statement that's not just some empty phrase, but something with real power behind it, right? This article calls it a killer vision statement, and I am so ready to take notes.
Well, the first thing is to ditch the corporate jargon. We want something that's clear, concise, easy to remember.
Keep it simple.
Exactly. Think about Nike's vision statement. Bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Bold, inspiring, memorable, right?
And they actually added an asterisk to that statement to clarify. If you have a body, you are an athlete. Talk about inclusive. It's amazing how they wove their values right into that statement.
Exactly. And that's key here, authenticity. Whether it's a huge company or your own personal growth, your vision statement needs to be a reflection of what you truly value.
Right. Like if your idea of success is spreadsheets in a corner office, your vision statement probably shouldn't be all about finding inner peace on a yoga mat.
Right. You've got to walk the walk. It's about aligning your actions with those aspirations. Speaking of action, let's go back to that vision indicator tree for a second. We talked about the branches, but what about those indicators, those measurable steps that keep you moving?
Okay, yeah, let's break that down a little more. Give me an example of what those indicators might look like.
Let's stick with that novel idea. Say crafting a compelling story is one of your branches. An indicator could be writing for an hour every single day, or maybe finishing a certain number of chapters each month.
So instead of that vague, I want to write a book, which can feel overwhelming, you're breaking it down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Exactly. And those smaller goals, they can be incredibly motivating. Every single word you write, every chapter you finish, it's a tangible step toward that big vision.
It's like that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yes. And it's not just about taking those individual steps. It's also about checking in with yourself regularly. Are you making progress? Do you need to switch things up? Are there any outside factors affecting your progress?
Right, because life happens, things change, and we need our vision to be flexible enough to adapt. It's not about being rigid, it's about having that guiding light, to help us navigate through those challenges.
Absolutely. This article really emphasizes that adaptability factor, especially in today's world where everything's changing so quickly.
It's true, things move fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our vision statement, we're using the vision indicator tree to make it happen. What else can we do to make sure it doesn't just end up forgotten in a notebook somewhere?
That's where it can be so helpful to loop in someone else. Share your vision with someone you trust, someone who can offer support and hold you accountable.
I like that. It's like having a workout buddy, but for your goals. Someone to celebrate with when things are going great and give you a little nudge when you need it.
That's a great way to put it. Don't be afraid to find a mentor, join a community, connect with people who share your aspirations.
Something I found super interesting, the article talks about how important sustainability and social impact are becoming when it comes to shaping vision statements.
For sure. It's not just about achieving personal success anymore. It's about considering the impact you're having on the world around you.
Exactly. Because what's the point of reaching a goal if it's at the expense of others or the environment, right? Your vision statement should reflect that awareness.
It's about recognizing that our actions have a ripple effect, asking ourselves, what kind of world am I contributing to? And ensuring our vision aligns with that bigger picture.
That's a powerful way to look at it. This is really making me rethink how I approach goal setting. And not just in big ways. It's not about checking things off a list anymore. It's about really understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing and where I want it to lead.
It's about purpose. And that actually ties into the last point I wanted to bring up from the article about how your vision.
Your vision, right. It's not just this thing that's set in stone, is it?
Exactly. And this article makes a really interesting point about that, about how your vision statement isn't static. It can evolve, and actually it should evolve right along with you, because what really excites you today, it might be totally different 5 years from now, and that's fine.
It makes sense when you think about it. You wouldn't use the same map for every single road trip, right?
Yeah.
You got to adjust based on the terrain, unexpected detours, maybe discover a new place you never even knew you wanted to see.
Exactly. It's about the journey, right? And the article even suggests that in the future, vision statements, they might have a much shorter lifespan, evolving alongside technology, societal changes. It's all about staying adaptable.
Wow, yeah. The future is coming at us fast.
It is.
So it's not about being married to some outdated vision, but about having that core guiding principle that can flex and change as you grow.
Right, because that growth, it can be personal, professional, even global. And it made me think about what we were talking about earlier with the whole sustainability and social impact aspect. That's not just some passing trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we define success these days.
Totally. I mean, what's the point of achieving something if it's at the cost of, other people or the planet? Our vision statements, they can reflect that bigger picture.
Absolutely. It's about understanding that our actions, they have ripple effects. So it's asking yourself, what kind of world am I helping to create? And making sure your vision is in line with that.
Powerful stuff. We covered so much ground in this deep dive. We talked about what a vision statement really is. It's not just corporate jargon, by the way.
No, not at all.
And then figuring out the why behind it, and even how to actually craft one that truly resonates with you.
Yeah, and we explored some pretty cool tools along the way. That vision indicator tree, that's a game changer for sure, helping us break down those big, maybe a little scary goals into steps we can actually take.
It really is like a masterclass in turning dreams into reality. So to everyone listening, if you're feeling inspired right now, here's a little challenge. Take that article we talked about, jot down those key takeaways, and spend a little time crafting your own vision statement.
Yes. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a work in progress, something you can keep revisiting and refining. The important thing is to start somewhere, to take that first step toward a future that you're excited about.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, everyone, and see you next time.